Well, today what I'm going to do is see if I can carve in this piece of basswood. I think it's sometimes called limewood as well. I'm not 100% sure. My logo. I've printed it out on a piece of paper here, and I'm going to transfer it onto this piece of basswood using some good old carbon paper. I'm going to cut it down to size though to make it a little bit more manageable. Now once I've carved this, I could use it for a clay press or a biscuit press or anything like that, or really just have it on the side at a craft fair or something like that. If it works out. Who knows if it's going to work out or not. So I'm going to stick that down. Oh, let's make sure I've got the paper cut, carbon round the right way, because I've been known not to. Now I have done a little bit of carving before, and I've got some carving tools. I've got some chisels, a carving knife, and of course I've got my Dremel if I need it as well. Most of all, I've got my safety equipment as well, so that if I move or slip or anything, I'm not going to cut myself, because that is something that I am more than likely going to do on numerous occasions, I would think. So what I'm going to do now is go around this fairly heavily. Now you can guarantee I will miss out some part of this. There is no doubt about it. I always do. Well, there we go. I think I've covered it everywhere, so now's the time. But what I will do is I will just lift up two of these sides first to see if there is anywhere that I've missed out. And if there is, I can always pop it back down and redo it again. No, I think that's looking okay, so I can take that right off. So next thing I need to do is decide which bits are like higher or lower. Well, the face is going to be the lowest bit because everything else kind of sits on top of that face, apart from the mouth, which will be even slightly deeper. The hair obviously is more forward, the ears aren't, and the glasses are. And the eyes will be the same level, I suppose, as the face. So what I'm going to do to start with is remove some of this face around here using this chisel. I'm trying to put an even pressure on it, following my lines. I have got others of these printed out in case I need them. I want the forehead to be as smooth as possible. I don't want it to look like I've got loads of wrinkles. So what I'm going to do is carry on doing this, going round here, trying to get this all at the same height. And then I will also do the same around the edge here, so this edge isn't here. Well, I've got all that now cut out, roughly, and also a bit of my forehead. And what I need to do now is lower the rest of the face. Before I do that, though, what I'm going to do is go around my lines with this knife here, like this, digging in, so that when I cut, for instance, if I cut here, I'll only cut up to that line. It won't cut into those glasses, like that. And then once I've got down to the depth of my line here, then I can go around, put another little cut in until I get to the depth that I want to get to. But it's coming on all right. I mean, at the moment, I haven't messed it up, but I'm sure that that will happen. I'll cut a bit out that I didn't want to cut out or something. And once I've got the hair exposed to the height that I want it, then I will reduce the height of the ears as well, because they're not going to be level with my hairline. They're set further back. Now I've finished rough cutting it out, what I'm going to do is try and even it up a little bit, smooth it out in some places using this knife. But I need to do the eyes. Now, carving out these eyes is going to be really hard work. So what I'm going to do is, all I'm using is this little V tool here. Go round here, go round the eye, like that, and then that gives me an eye inside those glasses. If I want to go a little bit deeper, I can. So I think they're going to be deep enough, and that definitely has the look of me, which is scary. Now what I'm going to do is slightly round off the hair, so it's not a flat block. Here, going round the edges, rounding it off a little bit. And because I've got everything drawn on there to start with, it makes it so much easier. And now what I'm going to do is very gently round off these eyebrows a little bit. And then round off my face. Like that. And that definitely looks like my logo. And I can just have this sitting on a stool like that. I can press it into biscuits. I can perhaps press it into clay. I'll have a look and see what it looks like pressed into clay in a minute. It might be completely wrong. So now I'm going to just, as I said, go round with these tools, very lightly, just tidying this up a little bit, like this, very lightly, taking bits off it, smoothing some bits out. And I'll also go in it with these sanding sticks as well, because these will sand it down and get rid of some of those extra bits that I don't want there, like little lines and things like that, and they will cut into this really well. These are really cheap. I will link everything that I've used in the description below, so don't worry about that. And a quick thank you as well to everybody that got me a coffee last month. I can't tell you how much it's helped. It's been a really slow month last month, and the coffees allow me to keep doing all these videos, so thank you. So I'm going to go over it, go round it. I want this to be looking quite rough round here as it's being carved, because I think that looks quite good. And then once I've done that, I'll show you what it looks like. Well, that's finished now. I've given it a bit of a sand, and I think it's come out all right. I quite like it. Before I go any further, what I am going to do is treat it with some natural beeswax, and this is food-safe beeswax as well. So if you want to use it on cookies, then you could. And all I'm going to do is put some on all the way around, everywhere. That kind of brings out the wood, and well, hopefully it won't stick to anything that I now use it on. I mean, I'm no expert at carving, but it's great to have a go at all these things, isn't it? I love having a go. Oh, that smells so lovely once you wax it as well. If I didn't want to use it as a biscuit press or anything like that, or for clay, all I've got to do is I can leave it on my stool like that once it's been given a bit of a polish up, and just another little thing to bring people to your stall. So I'm going to leave that a couple of minutes to soak in, and then I'm going to buff that up, and then we can see what it looks like once we've pushed it into some clay, because I haven't got any biscuits to push it into. Well, it's been soaking in for about 3 minutes here. I've just got a soft brush that I'm going to go over. I love these soft brushes, and do this over it just to make sure there's no clumps of that wax, and to give it a bit of a buff as well. And that's given that quite a nice finish. So let's test it on some clay. I've got some Sculpey here. Let's roll that out a little bit. We want it big enough for the thing to go on it. Okay, and let's push that in. I think it's come out quite well. Obviously, the bits that were protruding on this are now indented, but if you were to make that into a mould and pour some resin or anything into there, they wouldn't be indented, they'd be proud. But I like that. I think that's come out okay. I'm going to do it again on the other side. Push it a bit harder this time. I think you can definitely see that's my logo. I like it. Let me know in the comments what you think. It was really easy to do. It only took me about an hour and a half to do that. Having the right tools helps as well, or some of the right tools helps as well. I think you'll really love the video that's coming up next, so check me out there. If you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any of my future videos. And please hit that like button and share this video wherever you can. It helps my videos and my channel to grow. Take care. Enjoy your crafting. Bye.